Okay, well, good evening. How are you all today? Let me make sure that the mic is plugged in because I have this set up differently than I usually do, as you who have been with us before see. I've been wanting to do this one for a little bit and going to do it this evening. I want to do a kind of a test and a review, let you all watch it, of the SKYEMAC. I'll put that on a SKYEMAC camp stove. Now they come out, I love the little camp stoves we had back in Boy Scouts, and to be honest, I haven't used a lot of camp stoves since then, never needed to. If you need a fire, just get some rocks or dig a hole, make a fire. But these things are kind of interesting to me, and so I want to do a little test on it. Going to see, what kind of a fire it will manage. I already laid everything in there. There's nothing but leaves and twigs and stuff like that, and didn't think you all cared about watching me do that. And then I'm going to see what kind of fire we got going. And then I'm going to test it. Now, in most cases, most people would test it, with a lightweight camping pot or a little frying pan or something like that. I'm going to see if it will handle this, because there's a reason I'm going to see that, and I'll explain it to you later. Okay, with I don't know, quart of water in it or more. We'll just see how it does. And I won't make you watch the whole thing. I mean, I'll get it going, and I'll pause it a little bit, and so you don't have to watch, interminably. But one thing that I always carry, and I'll show you my fire kits one of these days in my bags. I keep meaning to, I never get around to it. One thing that I always carry is this, a craft stick, a popsicle stick, because these things will light up, and I have these in all my bags. I have at least 2 fire starting kits, and because if you're looking around for your own kindling, that could be a problem. And if the wood's a little damp, then you might have a problem. So I'm just going to light this up and use this as my long match to get it in there. Now this thing, it came in 5 pieces plus the little crossbars across the top, and it took, to give you an idea, it took about 30 seconds to put it together, and I was pretty happy with it. It fit together real nice. Again, it's the making. There's different companies that make these things. They market this one under SKYEMAC. I got it off of Amazon for, I think, I don't know, $20, something like that, maybe. And it fits in this little envelope, and it's made in China, as most things are today. If we wanted to stay away from things made in China, we could always go back to our circle of rocks, right? But in this case, I think this kind of handy. I'm gonna let that burn down just a little bit, and then of course we feed it through here. And what I do is, I'm gonna get this going. Let's have a little bit more in there. A little bit more. Do I sound like Bob Ross? Put that little stick here. That little stick might just go there. That's right. And I'll keep it going with some small stuff till we get this thing going pretty good. It's already going pretty good. So now I'll start to put some larger stuff in here, and I just kind of let you look at that for a couple of minutes. I don't know if you're like me. I could spend half my life watching a fire, whether I'm cooking anything on it or not. Something elemental about fire in there, the relationship between man and fire. It's really what brought civilization. It'll destroy or purify or cook or all sorts of things. Okay, I'm going to let that burn down a little bit from that other side over there. and put that thing's doing pretty well. It's cranking out some heat. I'm just going to let this one burn down till I can put it underneath the top there, and then I'll put the pot on. So let me pause you for just a moment, and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, it's just been a couple of minutes, and I finally got those down. Now you might wonder, well, why did I have things sticking up? Most people would have kept it down underneath. You know, I see a lot of other videos, and they start with a really small fire, and they tend it, and they put little things on top of it very gingerly and stuff. I'm not like it. I put a bunch of stuff together, and I light her up, and I let that fire go, and it'll find its way. And the reason that I put a lot of verticals in it, if you've watched me show you how to build a scaffold, what I call a scaffold fire, it's that, you know, fire wants to go up. It wants to chase its fuel. And so when you have fuel sticking up, it's going to chase it, and it's going to bring that heat and that flame, and then that's going to chase that. So I'm going to put this on there. We will see if this thing, we will see how it does. Okay, I'll let you watch that for a minute, and let's see. I'm going to see how long. This isn't really a test of how long it will take to boil water, you know. I mean, that's it. We know that it will. Give it enough time, any fire will boil water, right? But this is more of a test of the stability, and you know, it's fairly thin aluminum, so that's my question. Fairly thin, and we're going to see if it stands up to a fire like this, or if it's just for little baby fires. You know, because if it's just for a little baby fire, I guess it could be useful, but why pack something around if it's just useful for a few things, right? So let's just watch this for a couple of minutes. Got a nice cool cut out there, right? What does it say? SKYEMAC. I have no idea what that means. Doesn't mean anything, probably. It's just what the marketing department came up with. Okay, well, you know, it's funny because it seems like it's got that water in there smoking. Now, it could also be that it's just sucking the smoke of the fire back into the pan. But it looks to me like it's starting to... yeah, I think it is. And water's... Can you all see that? Can you see that okay? Yeah, I guess you can. I'm not used to not being able to see exactly what the camera's seeing, because usually it's either pointed at me or I'm looking through the viewfinder, and here I'm kneeling down on the ground to the side. So it's keeping that going pretty well in there. Keep that fuel inside. Not that it's going to set this dirt on fire, but right, why not keep the fuel where you need it? You get a pretty good size, you know, if you wanted to keep this going for, you know, pretty good amount of time, you could put a larger piece in there. So the water's smoking pretty good. I don't know if we'll just let it go. We'll keep watching it, all right? See if we get this thing to a boil or not. I just trimmed some of a couple of trees around here, so I got a lot of dead limbs. Took out some mulberries. Get down there and see if I can see what's going on. Yeah, it's all right. It's good. In a place like this, you know, it's got them crammed kind of close together for a. This would be good for a long-lasting fire, but you want enough air going between everything to really get it going. And you know something else, and probably most of you understand this too. I see on some videos that, you know, somebody will get a fire going, and it's going pretty good, and they get down there and blow on it. Now, if your fire's going pretty good, you don't have to blow on it. If it's not going as quite as good as you want to, just move the fuel around a little bit and open up some airflow. That's what you want to do. You don't have to blow on it. Well, that water's smoking. Now I tell you now why I wanted to test it with this larger Dutch oven. And I know any kids watching this just started laughing. Do you all older people know what kids refer to when they say Dutch oven? I didn't know that. If you don't know, ask a young person. Because you know, if you've read my books, and you know, out on the veranda of Stonemont, there are a series of rocket stoves, so that it, you know, is essentially an outdoor kitchen. Well, if you were out somewhere and wanted to, you know, you had a number of people around, and you wanted to cook a pretty good dinner and have a number of things going on at the same time, what I'm wondering as I test this, see if it holds up. Okay, well, it's starting to simmer. Can you all see that over there? So if you had 3 more of these, you could have essentially a 4-burner stove. Okay, can you all see that? Yep, okay. It's working. I gotta set you back gently. I got your back leg on a stick. Don't want to knock you off. Well, that's boiling about as much as you need anything to boil, isn't it? So we'll just watch this for a minute before I take that Dutch oven off, or that pot. It's not a Dutch oven without the lid on it. Where I take that pot off, and I'm pretty pleased. I'm very happy with that. We had a couple more of these. We could fix a nice dinner. It'd make a nice Easter dinner. Now, one thing I am going to do is, after I take this pot off, I'll stay it out here and let that fire go out, and then when that thing cools off later this evening, sure, it'll take a while, I'll see whether or not I feel it's been compromised at all by the heat. You know, it's thicker than a beer can, but I wouldn't call it thick. So I'll give you one more look at the boiling water. You see that? Yep. You make dinner with that. Did I get you still in the... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let me take this off. You know, and that's a good bit of water. That was more weight on there than I think most people would think. You know, everybody... These are made for hikers and campers and things, and they want to keep the weight down. And it definitely is light. It is really light. I mean, just think, it fits in this little bag, and you barely know you're carrying it around. It weighs less than a copy of the Reversion, I'll tell you that. So anyway, there you have it. It is the SKYEMAC. And I think it's on Amazon for 20 bucks, something like that. And if you have any interest in it, I'll probably buy another one. Like I said, I'll come out after everything's cooled down and make sure that it's still holding up. You know, I expected it to blacken. I don't care about cleaning all that stuff off. I don't care about it being pretty. I just care about it working. So there you have it. I'd recommend it so far. You know, at this point, it's done everything that I expected it or wanted it to do. It's surpassed it actually by taking all that weight. And so I'd give it a 5 out of 5 at this point. If, you know, I'm going to do it some more times, and if it turns out it's just not quite as durable as I wanted it to be or whatever, I'll let you know. But for right now, 5 out of 5, I think it's a good idea. So if you have any interest in it, look it up on Amazon. I don't make anything out of it. Just wanted to let you all know. So remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And one of the things you always have to be able to do is cook, right? Wherever you are. Now, I'd like to stay out here and build that fire back up and watch it for a little bit, but I have a Yingling waiting for me up on the deck, so I'd better get to it. You all have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.